Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nobody's Listening, the podcast that nobody's listening to. Today I'm joined by Wes and Nate.
Yo.
Hello.
And we're going to be covering Sony's E3 showcase, PlayStation Showcase is what they called it. Their E3 shit. And we have a list here of all the things to go over, so let's just dive right in.
Here's the thing I noticed as well. With that, before we get into everything. They didn't show... they showed, glimpses of it, but they didn't really go into and, talk about it the way that Microsoft did with the Xbox One X and the Scorpio.
I think they wanted to just get right to the point and
Yeah,
show off
they were
shit.
just showing games. Even the guy came out, and at one point he was just, let's just...
Well, I know he's like, it's to the games and what.
I think most
They had weird 3D and 4D effects going on,
Yeah.
that's the power of PlayStation. But I think
Yeah, true enough.
they did that mostly because they weren't unveiling a brand new console like Xbox was, so they didn't really have
Yeah, but usually
exclusives.
they have. Well, no, they should have exclusives. They should have. They
True.
didn't have anybody talking about the games. They just kept showing trailer after trailer, which is a lot different from usual. But they're also doing this thing called Live at PlayStation, literally the entire time of E3, where they're showing stuff off and talking about it. So I think that's why that's the way it is. But we'll get down into this. First of all, we got another look at Uncharted Lost Legacy, which
Which is a DLC, but it seems by the looks of it,
Nope.
or is it an entire
was
game?
supposed to be DLC for 4, but they turned it into a full game.
it's a standalone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because
Alrighty. It looks awesome nonetheless.
I think Naughty Dog
It looks-
realized that the size of how it was going to be once it finished, they were like, well,
It warranted its own disc.
exactly, pretty much.
And that's set to release in August.
But
It looks really cool. I've never really played them.
Yeah, it's very cinematic.
you haven't
Played-
played any of the Uncharted games, get on that. They are amazing.
I've played some. I've played one, and I think I played one, and that's it. Yeah.
Once you play the second one and then play the third one, will blow you away.
Hmm.
That's my favorite one.
So after that, it started snowing in the theater,
Right.
and,
Which was kind of cool. Freaky, but cool.
and then we got a look at an expansion for Horizon Zero Dawn called the Frozen Wilds, and I've not even played Zero Dawn yet, but I really want to.
It looks really
I have it. We can definitely play that. I'll bring it over one of these days, and we can do that. It's super fun.
Is
It's
it single player or multiplayer?
It's a single
single
player.
player. It's a single player, story-driven game, open world. There are no fast travel points. The only fast travel... I lied. The fast travel points, you have to make them.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can fashion your own weapons from things, and your different kinds of ammo and traps, and you fight giant mechanical beasts.
So you pretty much make everything yourself in order to survive.
Yes,
Okay. That's
It
good.
reminds me of Tomb Raider.
but it's
in a way.
it's like Tomb Raider. It's very stealth driven. You can be stealth driven to where you're sneaking around and you're just picking
Spacey.
people off, where you're picking people off and picking things off stealth, or you can go in their proverbial balls deep
Yeah, that's
and just
good.
starts.
It looks really good.
I want to ride a giant
Yeah, like I said, I'll bring it over one of these days. And
Velociraptor.
So
the Asperg.
it just kept rolling right along with more games, and we got another look at Days Gone as well, and
It looks to
Looks
me
good.
everything's zombified. Humans, dogs,
Animals,
bears, zombie
I
bears.
did not expect the game to be as stealth driven as it is.
Zombears.
See, I like it. That's the thing. It looks like it's going to be a combination of stealth, but also probably just shoot 'em ups. Because if you noticed, it's not like any other zombie game we've seen.
Nope.
It's not like Left 4 Dead or
It's got that
Zombie
more-
Armored Trilogy. There's hordes upon hordes upon hordes of zombie. And you saw he blew up the gate, and there was 50 of them.
That was ridiculous. I like
And they run; they're not slow and sluggish.
Yeah, they're not cumbersome. It's shit.
I like
You know, one of those things.
use your surroundings to your advantage, like how he used the bear trap. That was really cool.
and he
And then-
drew attention to pull people off to help them get rid of it. And like, I like the way they stealth it because when you normal games that have stealth in it, it's like you sneak around and it's super like, all right, I'm hiding in this bush because I throw a rock and one guy gets distracted. It's like, okay, well, maybe we'll set a trap to kill this guy or do something to this guy to make it loud. Throw a rock, boom, and no one's like, they're like, oh, well, explosion, whatever. But like the bear trap, it caused the other people in the camp to run over, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, if you notice, after he got pulled into the bear trap and the others tried getting him out, they got murdered by zombies. Because
Well, they kept on,
it's so loud.
yeah, they kept on saying like, shut him up, shut him up, shut him up, and they couldn't get open. And then by the time, if you listen closely, they didn't get murdered. They didn't get murdered by zombies. When you got close to that second part, that second bit where he saves his buddy or whatever,
Yeah.
as he's rolling up to the gate, you could hear a gunshot.
Oh yeah.
They shot the guy.
Damn. Vicious.
Yeah, which caused the zombies that were below them to come up and around.
Okay.
So
I missed the gunshot.
that game looks really good. I was sold on it last
It
year,
does.
but it
Oh.
looks really good.
They announced it last year?
Yes.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then
It wasn't anything finished.
And then we start looking. Then we see this thing
And then-
where I'm watching this trailer, going, "What the fuck could this be?" And I'm like,
Dude, I knew instantly I saw the giant sword.
"Okay, I thought that at first."
Yeah, so did I. And then I was like, is it another Monster Hunter?
But then I thought, but Monster Hunter's been on Nintendo for so long.
Yeah, like that's another thing is I was like, all right, Monster. I'm like, it can't be. I thought Monster Hunter, like it can't be Monster Hunter. It's on Nintendo.
And then it goes Capcom Presents, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god!"
Yay!
Where's the cats? Like,
They're in there. They'll be in there.
I wanted
They're
to
a
see one
staple
in
of
the
the series.
trailer.
So it's not only coming to PS4; it's also coming to Xbox One. Which
course.
I mean,
Xbox.
whatever.
Is it going to Switch too?
I think so.
Oh,
No, it's not.
that's a shame.
PS4 and Xbox in early 2018. No, Switch is getting a different game. But
Oh.
yeah, that game looks insane. It's just so beautiful. These games this year are so beautiful. Graphics.
4K.
Are pretty.
Oh yeah, 4K.
And then we jumped from that to
And then okay, I was spoiled. When I was loading the Sony conference, on the side I saw a list of trailers. You know how it shows other videos.
I'm excited for this one.
And I
now.
saw this one. I saw this one, and I knew I was just waiting for it to show up. And as soon as the trailer started, Wes recognized one of the developers as people who do remasters for.
Yeah, Blue Point Games. They're the ones that did the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, and they did another remaster for a series. I'm not sure what it is.
But
Oh, they did the Gravity Rush remaster.
Gravity Rush.
Yeah.
so we're sitting there, and as soon he goes, "Is this a remake?" And I'm like, "I don't know, Wes. Is it?" And then it shows the
Is
Colossus, one of the Colossus, and he goes, "Oh my god, this is Shadow of the Colossus."
And then it showed the title.
It again, beautiful.
Oh my god.
I have committed sacrilege. I have never played Shadow of the Colossus.
Are you
Me either,
serious?
actually. To be completely honest, I've never played it either, but I know
Alright.
I've seen it played.
I have it. But
Looks like we'll get the remaster.
yeah, I have it. The only downside is I need Plus in order to play it. Now my question is, with the remaster of Shadow of the Colossus, are they going to remaster Ico? Both of them go together
I mean,
in a sword.
That's
they're not gonna
quite a
reveal it
possibility.
eventually, maybe. Who knows? But
I'm pretty sure they're both.
my favorite
Yes,
part. I think my favorite part of the trailer was when it shows the trailer and you just hear the music.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes. I hear the music for that's
But-
really good.
But yes, Wes, the Shadow of the Colossus and Ico are in the same universe. Shadow of the Colossus comes first, and the reason why Ico has horns is because he's an offspring of. He's a reincarnation of the dude.
Really?
Yeah.
I've always told you to play Ico first and then Shadow of the Colossus. Though I never actually got to Shadow of the Colossus. I'm somewhere in the PS3.
I understand it's the other way around.
So, and then World War II.
Yay.
Call of Duty. Okay, first off, I like Call of Duty, but not for the reason that most people like Call of Duty. I
Killing
like the multiplayer, but it's not my favorite. No. I like the multiplayer, but it's not my favorite thing. I love the story. A lot of the times,
There.
oh, shut up. It's very, in depth and very like robust.
in
Like
depth,
there's
high def.
yeah, it's in depth. It's in depth and high def, but it's very robust. You feel for the characters sometimes, not all the times. Like there's a few of these ones that you're just like, this
Like,
character's still
I
alive.
get it, but I guess from what I understand, in recent entries in this franchise, it's been lacking, and they've been focusing more on multi.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Advanced
they've
Warfare was all multiplayer. I mean, it had a great camp, but it was mostly all pandered to multiplayer, just like
And so
Black Ops 3 was.
I don't know.
The one thing I hated about Black Ops 3 was, yeah, you could get it on Xbox 360 and PS3, but fuck you, you don't get the campaign. You only get multiplayer because the campaign was so big, which is understandable. I mean, they had two different separate campaigns. They had this campaign, which was an actual story-driven thing, and then they had the regular camp.
it
But-
still looks really good nonetheless.
I like
The World War
that
II
they-
does.
I don't. I mean,
A lot of people are actually really happy that they're getting back to the World War II era because
Yeah.
we've had a lot of futuristic things.
yeah,
I
And
was
besides,
even
Chris, the
kinda
reason
sad.
why you don't like it is because you're not a huge fan of FPSs.
yeah, and also the COD communities.
It's so
The COD community is mostly 12-year-olds, so
It's so poisonous. But
uh,
I
toxic.
yeah, that's the word. But I was okay with Advanced Warfare, and
The first
Black
couple
Ops
were
3.
cool, but then they kept doing it and kept doing it.
I mean the future
Well, yeah.
warfare gets old after a while. My favorite was Ghosts, and I wanted them to do Ghosts 2.
Oh, I want Ghost 2 so bad.
I know.
Oh, I want
That was
Ghost 2 so
literally
bad.
the best fucking Call of Duty. And
You know-
then they were like,
Not the best. No, not the best.
Big
Not the
Red one.
best.
Big red one.
Modern Warfare 2. My opinion.
Before they got all up their own ass with the multiplayer.
Kind of.
So yeah, Ghosts was great. I loved it.
Okay.
And then
What happened after that? Because we're getting too much on the COD. We can do a whole thing of just Call of Duty.
They started going into the PS
So,
VR games.
They jumped into VR with the
Skyrim first off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Nate?
I don't know because I like. Okay, here's the thing. All right, I like VR. I think VR is cool. I like the idea of it. I like AR, augmented reality. I think augmented reality is awesome. However, and I know there's necessary steps you have to take in order to get better and better and better and better. But the VR headset for the PS4 and just VR headsets in general are stupid freaking expensive.
Well, yeah.
For now.
And then you got to drop another 60, 65 for the VR game.
Yep.
It's,
Look at the controllers.
No, they're normal price. They're still 60.
Either way, that's 400. That's an entire another console.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That's the point.
That's why they marketed it like that, so they know
I
people
don't-
will buy that.
I know, but it's a turnoff. It's a turnoff to a lot of us because I don't know one person that owns that.
Okay, here's the thing. It's like
Taking the stupid amount of money. Now, let me finish. VR is extremely cool. Like I said, extremely cool. Skyrim on the VR looks extremely cool. The idea of being able to be like, all right, casting spells and pulling back your arm and actually fighting is pretty cool. The only problem with this is I can't do it when I can't do it when anyone else is around because I'm gonna punch someone.
You know what was cool before
Like
VR?
I'm gonna
became
swing
VR?
and just cold cock
see,
West.
virtual boy, I'm gonna
like-
punch you.
I'm not, but you know it was cool before VR became VR. Control and Budokai Tenkaichi 3 on the Wii.
Yeah,
You could throw the controllers and shoot a Kamehameha, and that was
Yeah,
like
mhm.
the tits.
So here's the thing. Here's what I'm gonna get at. All right. So they have to make the headsets expensive. Why? Well, because it's essentially a little.
All processing.
It's a TV inside of a fucking thing that you place on your face, and those little TVs have to be able to handle
4K. almost.
4K or 1080p or better, 4K, and that's not cheap. It's not cheap to make, so they have to make it that expensive. The hardware that runs the game is your console, be it your PC, your PlayStation, or eventually your
It's
Xbox.
essentially a Bluetooth TV that attaches to your
Face.
that connects to your PS4 and attaches to your face. I get that it's not it's expensive to make. There are the words. Words are hard today. Expensive to make and expensive to produce. However, it's like what, $400? I can see marketing it and running it at like 250, 200 around there.
If it wasn't a 4K,
but 400 is insane. Now, if it's $400 and you get the headset and two controllers,
I think so.
You don't. It's
okay
just
with
the
that.
headset.
Like
Yeah.
that's a thing.
Dig.
That's how much the PS4 was, or that's how much like a PS4 would cost with a controller and all that stuff. Blah 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 blah. But $400 for just a headset.
A little
God, this better be like.
gold-plated.
I better be able to see like the individual like pores on whatever I'm fighting in Skyrim or whatever I'm doing. That motion sensing, like the motion sensor on it, should be immaculate to where I can flip off Alduin and it show up.
VR's
Or I'm
not
fighting
that.
a Draugr Lord and I can just
That's more-
do the jerk off motion and it's perfect. Like
Boom, right in the face.
Okay, but here's the thing.
just the like
right now,
I don't know. Maybe I'm not just comprehending it, the process of it all. Maybe I'm just.
the
But
VR games don't work quite
VR
like
is
that
cool.
yet.
The steps we have taken. Whoa. The steps we have taken to improve VR is fantastic.
My thing
But
is
dropping 400 plus bucks on a thing with only a handful of games right now and only a handful of iffy games that are coming out,
it's not worth it until the library gets bigger.
it looks like the Kinect to me. Where the
Yeah,
Kinect had a bunch of games that came, or like a decent amount of games that came out, and then a bunch of people released some stuff, but the Kinect never really did well.
VR is actually
Same with the the PlayStation camera.
gaming is heading in the direction of.
I have that. There's practically nothing on it for it.
What's that?
I used it for streaming, and that was it. I don't know. 400. I just can't fathom dropping $400 on something.
I think you can get the headset alone for cheaper than that because there's a bundle.
Hello.
There's a bundle that comes with.
Hello.
What? You can't hear me all of a sudden?
Oh, great. Be right back. Hello.
Hi.
I drop out mid-conversation?
Nope. We heard you.
You were in it. You were ranting and raving about VR and how expensive it is. We got all of it.
Yeah, I couldn't hear
And
you.
then you just kept going and going and going like the Energizer Bunny, and then Chris was like, hello? And you didn't answer.
So anyway,
On to the next VR game.
no, hang on.
Okay.
So the I'm pretty sure there's a thing where I think there's a cheaper option where you can get just the headset. If you already have the camera and the controllers for it, you're good. You're golden. But you need the camera, PlayStation camera,
Like
because that's what tracks the
VR headset.
the controllers.
Okay.
So anyway, after we gotta look at Skyrim real quick, they showed off a game called Bravo Team, which is a shooter.
Yay.
It looks like a rail shooter, which I'm not a huge fan of those.
Yeah, whatever. I'm not a fan of those games in general. We got one called Star Child, which looks weird to me because it looked like it takes place in like a third person's perspective, and that doesn't make sense for a VR game. The one with the giant robot at the end.
Yeah, maybe maybe it's a two-player game and someone does the giant robot and someone controls the little tiny thing that falls, or little tiny. I'm assuming boy girl. I'm just gonna call it boy girl. The boy girl that is falling around.
I think the beginning of it is going to start out from a third person point perspective, and then it switches to the robot, and then it's just
it just doesn't make sense to me.
no. It's a weird way to go, but I mean, it still looks good design wise and graphics wise.
Yeah, it does. It looks cool.
Then we got this psychological thriller called The Inpatient. That looks really cool.
It kind of reminds me of not really the evil with, but kind of feel of it, not as horrific.
I don't know. It looks cool to me.
Yeah.
Then we got a Final Fantasy 15 fishing game. Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah, Monsters of the Deep, Final Fantasy 15. It's weird. It's odd.
It's basically Square Enix going, hey, look, we can do VR.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Fuck yeah. But in the realm of Final Fantasy, you've got your RPGs, your tactics, your spin-offs, and your fighters. And the fishing game is a neat, different take on the spin-off genre for Final Fantasy, in my opinion.
So like, I don't know. It's Square Enix trying to get into what they think is probably a gimmick, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then we got this one called Moss, where you help this little mouse get through all these little puzzles and stuff like that. That one looks cool to me. I like that one.
I have named the mouse Alfred.
Good
Yeah.
boy.
May I ask why?
I don't know. He just looks like an Alfred.
I thought it was a girl.
You're an Alfred.
Alfredina.
Okay,
God.
that works. Alfreda. Alfreda. Anyway, so then we got God of War, which, oh my god.
Holy
War.
fuck. It looks amazing. Kratos is old.
Pun totally intended.
What?
I said, oh my god.
Of War.
Yes. Oh.
Nate, begin the creaming. Go.
Oh, don't even. I lost, like, I couldn't think straight because all the blood was in my penis. Like,
it's so much more than I thought it was gonna be. I thought
I'm-
it was gonna be.
It looks beautiful.
Kratos is training, like, taking his kid on this journey, and oh
I
god,
thought he had a daughter.
no, it was a boy. It's gonna be so heartwarming, and like something terrible is gonna happen in the middle of the game, and it's gonna be sad, and I know it.
And it's gonna fuck Kratos up.
well, dude, like, Loki is talking to him. And
Is that who that was?
yeah, it was either Loki or Fenrir, but I'm pretty sure it was Loki. He has 2 wolf companions, and he's probably talking through them, but talking to him talking like he knew Kratos, like he knows of Kratos' exploits. You saw the little, like, urn with Kratos on it.
Yeah.
So
If he had wolves, wouldn't it be Fenrir? Because
no, Loki has Fenrir. It probably was Fenrir, but Fenrir is the offspring of Loki.
oh, okay. I just know Fenrir from Final Fantasy.
Like he controls wolves essentially. He has, like, Odin has Hugin and something else. I can't remember the name. And the 8-legged horse.
I don't care about your mythology right now. I'm talking about God of War.
But you have to
Story is mythology.
understand the God of War. You need to know the mythos of everything, man.
You're gonna play God.
I wanted
of War,
to
you
go-
know this shit.
Yes.
The only God of War I've played is Chains of Olympus. I want to get into the series before the game drops, but I know
There's no way you're gonna beat all the games.
Watch me.
They're actually not that long. They're difficult, but they're not that long. Like, if Wes got God of War 2, God of War 3, and just took a day to play each of them, he could beat it in like 3 days. It's not.
Get the PS3.
See, before Uncharted 4 came out, I replayed Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3. Complete playthrough, all 3 of those games twice before I even picked up Uncharted 4. And that
God
was
damn,
within,
no wonder I never saw you.
that was
Fucking no life in
within
it over here.
a 3-month time frame.
Ooh, the next one was really fucking cool.
Yeah, it's called Detroit.
Dude, yeah, Detroit, some human, I can't remember.
Detroit Becoming Human.
Oh my god, dude, it looks so good.
Ugh, like, what the fuck?
The graphics and like the concept is really cool to me because I've always liked the idea of like people making androids like that, lifelike like that, and then them bolting. I think that's always been a cool sci-fi kind of story. Really.
I don't know if it's going to be like Heavy Rain, where it's you just do quick time events the entire time, and based on what you do, it falls. Like you're like Until Dawn, where you don't really get to control your character all that much or do anything super.
Never played it.
I don't know, and I don't know completely.
Here's about gameplay right now. Like it looks awesome. Don't get me wrong. I'm definitely interested in it, but for me is the gameplay because yeah, I like the concept of like Until Dawn, where you don't really control what happens, like physically control your character, and you just do quick time events to see if a character, like how the story progresses, is a neat concept. But it's not my favorite thing in the world.
It's cinematic gaming.
Yeah, I don't feel like I can get it. Like I don't feel as if I'm immersed into it.
Sometimes I'm okay with that because it's like watching a movie that you're directly involved in.
The one thing I pulled away from the trailer was it looks like it's based on a decision system where decision affects the outcome of the entire story.
And there's a pacifist run, there's a violent run, there's a...
Yeah, in my mind, it reminded me a lot of Infamous Second Son, where you do good and take the story this way, and then you do that and make it right. And I like when they do that in games because it offers you variety to choose, and it changes your experiences, which is always nice.
So, before we talk about this last game, was there anything else you wanted to touch on?
Like I said, the overall, not really. It's just an overall thing that I have now. So
We'll do that at the end then. So the guy comes back out on stage and goes, "Yeah, so that was an hour," and I was like,
"Yeah,
holy fuck!" And kind of it was.
He goes, "Well, take a look at this exclusive game," and as soon as they started showing it, I was like, "This is fucking Spider-Man." And
dude, I am so excited about this.
It looks amazing.
Holy shit, dude!
The cityscape.
Yes.
Just seeing the cityscape in the beginning, I thought maybe it was a Ratchet & Clank title because of how kind of slightly cartoony it looked. And then he said Spider-Man, and I was like, I don't know.
I knew it was Spider-Man from the music too.
And then we see Spidey, and I was like, oh, shit, this looks really good.
So I really like how it definitely reminded me, and it even says it in the thing I'm reading right now. Definitely reminded me of the Arkham game way.
Yep. Strongly influenced by him.
I also like how they're not just doing like shitty Spider-Man villains again, and they're throwing in like Wilson Fisk, and they're introducing. It seems like the story seems very interesting. Seeing all the different combos and shit you can do. Now, here's the problem with a lot of E3 trailers and quote unquote gameplay. A lot of times it's not real gameplay. It's a scripted, pre-made thing. And so it's hard to tell if this is how the game's really going to look and play. But oh my god, I think it's going to be open world. It looks like it's going to be open world to an extent. It's stealthy and oh god, it just
made you so hard.
It's so good. And then it goes through. There's quick time events and everything else. Also, I like the part where you're doing the part where he's trying to catch the helicopter before it lands on all the people there at the end of the trailer, where he's like, "Fuck." He doesn't say "fuck."
No, but he's thinking that.
He's like, "Come on, don't mess this up." As you're like hitting the buttons, I was like, "Wow."
Spider-Man is very clean. Like he doesn't swear, Wes. That's the whole point of his.
And he's basically just like, "Don't mess this up," and it's like he's talking to you. You.
Well, no, that's the thing though. Is Spider-Man's character? He always talks to himself. That's why him and Deadpool get along so well.
I know,
I know that.
but I think it's cool because never mind.
It gives you that sense that he's talking to you personally as a
I
player.
get you. I get you.
You screw this up, you kill thousands.
So then they just did like a sizzle reel of all the games they just showed, and they cut back to Spider-Man for a moment, and they show Miles Morales.
Which is awesome.
You don't know who it is, Wes, because you're stupid.
Oh.
He's another Spider-Man essentially. He's
okay.
Symbiote, essentially.
yeah. He's basically just another Spider-Man. Keep it at that. Keep it less complicated.
Which opens up, if Miles is in it, which opens up a few other possibilities of different characters being in it. There's the possibility of Spider-Gwen being in it and Spider-Woman being in it.
Gwenpool. Spider-Gwen.
I think he said Spider-Gwen.
It's hard to.
Hey, she's a character.
I know.
Hard to hear. Sometimes you keep it. I don't know. You keep cutting in and out. It hurts. But
Ew,
anyway.
stop farting.
Do nothing.
So anyway, overall, Sony was all games. Like, oh
Yeah.
Ooh, a couple of other things, real quick.
Pointing your finger at me. Oh God.
Dead.
So the makers of Until Dawn showed a new co-op mobile horror game called Hidden Agenda. Undertale's coming to PS4 and Vita.
Woo.
I saw a new trailer for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and that looked amazing.
I'm excited about that. I really am.
Did you see the new trailer for it?
Yes, I watched the entire conference. It was showed at the conference.
No, it was before the conference.
Yeah, bro.
Either way, I saw it. So yes.
Did you see that there's a demo out right now for it?
Ooh, I didn't know that. No.
And the game comes out September 19th. And then they showed Destiny 2, and I don't give a shit.
They didn't show anything that we didn't already know. So
We
yeah, nothing new from them. Almost the only thing new that I can think of was that was some of the VR stuff in Monster Hunter.
I mean, I didn't really all of it was new to me, for the exception of the Uncharted.
You didn't know about that?
Call of Duty. No, everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew about Uncharted, Days Gone, Call of Duty, God of War, Detroit Become Human, Destiny 2, and I knew there was something in the works of Spider-Man, but I didn't think anything like that.
They showed it a little bit of it last year. Like a tiny bit last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall, solid.
7 out of 10.
Yeah, I didn't get as hyped as I did for Microsoft. Which is weird because I don't play Xbox.
The reason why 7 out of 10 is because, one, they didn't. Compared to Xbox, they just showed games, which is fine, but a lot of it was stuff we already knew about.
Yeah, nothing new. That's what I'm saying. There was nothing new.
No, nothing about like the PlayStation Pro or anything about that. Which, with Xbox releasing the Xbox X and the Scorpio, they kind of need something. Yeah, the Xbox, whatever. They kind of need to do something with that, you know. And I expect to hear something from Sony.
PS4 Pro.
Especially the drop backwards compatibility with the Xbox, with the other Xbox game.
Can do it.
No, they're not.
They've already said like, meh.
They can market too much money.
They're gonna start losing people because they're not listening to their fans.
Yeah, they're doing it with their games, but the backwards compatibility aspect of their system,
not even so much that the backwards compatibility,
they know they can market off of
the
it.
cross-platform play. The only thing they
You
cross-platform
have to pay to play a bunch of these games instead of just buy them individually. Because on the PlayStation, you can only rent them, which is dumb.
I'm sorry, what?
They can only rent PlayStation.
Yeah, the backwards compatibility for the PS4. You can't just pump in or put in a disc
for the PlayStation 3, like say we'll just say Ratchet and Clank on the PS3, you can't put that into the PS4 and play it like you can with like Halo Reach on the Xbox.
Oh yeah, I know.
You have to buy the game. You have to go. You have to join this $15 a month thing on
Oh,
top of what you play for
PlayStation
PlayStation.
Now? Yeah, I already know.
That's stupid. But they know they can get money off of it. Why not?
They should include PlayStation Now and Plus, and I've been saying that for years.
They should. But do you really think they're going to listen?
No.
Listen about anything else either. That's Sony's biggest problem. Now, tomorrow at noon, is the Nintendo. It's only a short little, probably about half an hour kind of thing.
I read 25 minutes. That was from Reggie Fee. Oh.
About half an hour kind of thing.
Well, yeah.
Shut the fuck up. And so we'll probably still record at night because I work. Everybody else is off. Chris has to go to work. So
I'm gonna be sleeping.
you're gonna wake up and you're gonna watch that.
I'm gonna wake up at 11:58. Pull my phone out. Watch the conference.
No, you're not.
Go
Because
back to sleep.
it's gonna take you more than 2 minutes to do it. You're gonna get up at like 45.
What?
Time to watch Nintendo's conference. Okay, they're done.
Yeah, okay. No, I mean the waking up right away thing. You never do that.
It's definitely a good thing that nobody listens.
Oh yeah, it is. We're gonna wrap things up because
It's
nobody's
almost-
listening.